It's 3:20 a.m. when your phone rings. The screen doesn't show a number, it never does. You reach for it in the dark, already knowing what this means. Your hand doesn't shake anymore. It used to, in the beginning. Now it's just reflex. We have a problem. The voice belongs to Secretary Harrison, senior cabinet member, the man who shakes hands with foreign dignitaries on national television. The man whose office wall displays 3 carefully framed photographs. His wife of 30 years, his 2 children at their college graduations, and himself standing next to the president at the inauguration. The public sees him as a pillar of integrity, a family man, a servant of the people. You know what he really is. Where? You ask. Your voice is flat, professional. Downtown, the Meridian Hotel District. There's a girl, 24, maybe 25. She has photographs. You're already out of bed, walking to your closet. The door slides open silently. Everything in your life is designed to be silent. Black suit, black shirt, no tie. You learned early that ties are memorable. People remember the man in the red tie. Nobody remembers the man in all black. What does she want? Money. She's asking for $500,000. You almost smile. They always want money. Money is the easiest problem to solve. It's when they want justice or revenge or just to be heard. That's when it gets complicated. I'm on my way. Send me the address. You hang up before he can say thank you. He knows better than to thank you anyway. 15 minutes later, you're driving through empty streets. Your car is a German sedan, not the luxury model, but the reliable one, silver gray, the color that disappears in traffic. Everything about you is designed to disappear. No distinctive features, no memorable characteristics. You've spent 7 years becoming forgettable. You remember the night it all started. 7 years ago, you're a different person, a lawyer, not a great one, but competent enough. Your firm handled political campaigns, drafted contracts, managed the legal paperwork for fundraisers. It was boring work, but it paid well. Then one night, your phone rang at 2 a.m. Senator Morrison. His voice was shaking. My son, he was drunk. He hit someone with his car. There's a witness. The police are on their way. You should have told him to call a criminal defense attorney. You should have stayed out of it. Instead, you asked, where is he now? 6 hours later, the witness had $50,000 in her account and a signed statement saying she wasn't sure what she saw. The police report listed the incident as a hit and run, with no leads. The victim's family received $200,000 in a confidentiality agreement drafted so carefully that even speaking about the accident would cost them everything. Senator Morrison's son walked free. The case went cold. 1 week later, you found $50,000 in your checking account, no wire transfer details, no note, just money appearing like magic. The second call came 3 weeks after that, then a third, then more. You pull up outside an apartment building in the Meridian district. It's one of those new developments. Glass and steel, expensive but not luxurious. The kind of place where young professionals live, where a girl in her 20s might feel safe enough to think she has leverage. You have a key to the lobby door. You have keys to 47 buildings in this city. Landlords sell them to you, though they don't know what you use them for. They think you're with building inspections or insurance compliance. They're happy to take $500 and ask no questions. 3rd floor, apartment 3C, you knock twice. Professional, not threatening. The door opens 6 inches, held by a chain lock. You see her face, young, scared, trying to look brave. Her makeup is smudged. She's been crying. Are you from the secretary? Her voice wavers. I'm here to help resolve this situation. May I come in? She hesitates, then removes the chain. The apartment is small, clean. There's a nursing degree on the wall. Student loan statements on the kitchen counter. This isn't a professional blackmailer. This is someone desperate. That makes it easier. You have photographs. You ask, sitting down without being invited. She pulls out her phone with shaking hands. You look at the screen. Secretary Harrison in a hotel room. The girl with him isn't his wife. The timestamp is clear. 3 weeks ago, while his wife was visiting their daughter in Boston, $500,000. she says, trying to sound firm. Cash. And I delete everything. All copies. You let the silence sit for a moment. Then you lean back, crossing your legs. Comfortable. Unthreatened. Let's talk about what's really happening here. For the next 15 minutes, you let her tell her story. How she met the secretary at a fundraiser where she was working as a server. How he invited her for drinks. How he promised he'd help with her student loans. How she believed him until she realized what he actually wanted. How she took the photographs as insurance, but now those loans are drowning her and she's desperate. You listen without interrupting. This is important. People need to feel heard. It makes them easier to control. When she finishes, you nod slowly. I understand, and I'm going to help you. But we need to be realistic about the situation. You pull out your phone. Show her a photograph. It's her from last night leaving a restaurant with a man. Her boyfriend, you assume. We know where you live. We know where you work. St. Catherine's Hospital, night shift in the ER. Now your boyfriend's name is Marcus Chen. We know he's a software engineer at DataCore. We know your mother lives in Philadelphia and works at a public library. Her face goes pale. We know you have $83,000 in student loan debt. We know your car payment is $345 a month. We know you're a good person who made one bad decision because you were desperate. You lean forward. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to give me that phone. I'm going to delete those photographs, not just from the phone, but from every cloud backup, every hidden folder, every place they might exist. And tomorrow morning, you're going to find $50,000 in your bank account. That's not, let me finish. Along with that $50,000, you're going to receive a lease agreement for an apartment in Portland, Oregon. Rent paid for 6 months. You're also going to receive a job offer from Portland General Hospital. Better pay than you're making now. Better hours, better life. She's staring at you. In exchange, you leave the city within 48 hours. You don't talk to anyone about this. Not Marcus, not your mother, not your best friend. You break up with Marcus via text. You tell your mother you got a dream job, and you disappear. And if I say no, you pull out a second phone. Show her another photograph. This one is fake. Your hacker created it this afternoon, but she doesn't know that. It shows her in a car with bags of white powder visible on the passenger seat. If you say no, this photograph gets sent to the Portland police, the hospital administration, and several news outlets. You'll be investigated. Your nursing license will be suspended, even when they prove it's fake. And they will. Eventually, the damage will be done. Your career will be over. Marcus will leave you. Your mother will be humiliated. You pause. Or you can take $50,000, start fresh in a new city with a better job, and never think about this again. We're not your enemies. We're giving you a way out. She sits there, tears streaming down her face. You've seen this moment dozens of times. It's the moment when people realize they never had any power at all. Okay, she whispers. Okay. 40 minutes later, you walk out with her phone. The photographs are gone. Your hacker has already scrubbed every backup. By tomorrow afternoon, she'll be on a plane to Portland. By next week, this problem will be nothing but a deleted file. You call Secretary Harrison. It's done. Thank you. I don't know what I'd do without... You hang up. You don't need his gratitude. You need his money. Instead of going home, you drive to your office. It's in a generic office building in the business district. Second floor, corner unit. The door has a placard that reads, Meridian Consulting Services. People who see it assume you're management consultants or IT specialists. Nobody knows what you actually do. Your assistant, Layla, is waiting inside. She's 43, former FBI analyst, forced out for reasons she's never fully explained. She's been with you for 7 years. She knows every secret you keep. The girl agreed. She asks without looking up from her computer. Yes. Portland, arrangement, standard protocol. I've already set up the apartment. Her flight is tomorrow at 3 p.m. The hospital offer letter will arrive via email in the morning. This is why you pay Layla $200,000 a year. She thinks 3 steps ahead. We have another situation at 7 a.m., she says. Congressman Davis. His son, Tyler, was arrested 4 hours ago. Cocaine possession, 2 ounces, he's still in custody at the 5th precinct. You check your watch. It's almost 5 a.m., 2 hours. Get him out. Pay the usual contacts. Evidence disappear. Arse. Arresting officers get their bonuses. Tyler walks by noon, already in progress. I'm just waiting for final confirmation. You sit in your office. The walls are bare except for a single abstract painting. Something forgettable you bought because the space looked too empty without it. There's a safe built into the wall behind it. Inside that safe are files, detailed files on 27 politicians. Every secret you've buried, every crime you've covered, every weakness you could exploit if you ever needed to. It's your insurance policy, the thing that keeps you alive. You remember when you realized how deep this went. 2 years ago, Senator Patterson's wife, Caroline, she killed her ex-boyfriend. Not in self-defense, not in a moment of panic. She planned it. He'd been threatening to go public about their affair, threatening to ruin her marriage, her husband's career. So she invited him to her lake house and shot him in the chest. Senator Patterson called you at midnight, his voice barely above a whisper. My wife, she's killed someone. I need your help. You drove 4 hours to that lake house. The body was in the living room. Caroline was sitting in the kitchen, drinking wine, completely calm. It took you 6 hours to dispose of the body. You weighted it down and sank it in the deepest part of the lake. You cleaned the crime scene with chemicals that erased DNA. You took the gun and threw it in an industrial smelter 2 states away. Then you created a narrative. The ex-boyfriend had been depressed. His therapist would confirm it. After you paid them, he talked about leaving, starting over somewhere new. His family would believe it after you showed them the fake emails you'd created. The police would close the case after you explained to the detective that there was no evidence of foul play and that sometimes people just vanish. $100,000 apiece read in your account that week. And you understood you weren't a lawyer anymore. You weren't a consultant. You were a cleaner, a fixer, the person who makes impossible problems disappear. Now you work for 27 politicians, senators, congressmen, governors, judges. They call you when their carefully constructed lives start to crack. When the scandals surface, when the bodies, literal or metaphorical, threaten to float to the surface. Sometimes the job is simple: paying off a mistress, silencing a witness, erasing a record. You have people for that. Layla coordinates. Your 2 investigators track targets. Your hacker, who you've never met in person, can erase someone's digital existence in hours. Your accountant moves money through shell corporations so clean that even forensic analysts can't track it. But sometimes the job is complicated. You remember the journalist, David Reeves? He'd been investigating Congressman Williams for 8 months. He had evidence of corruption. Williams had been selling committee influence to corporate lobbyists. Millions of dollars. Reeves had documents, sources. He was going to publish. You tried the easy way first. You offered him money, $250,000 to kill the story. He refused. You tried threats, showed him what you could do to his career. He said he'd publish anyway. So you destroyed him, not physically. Worse, you planted evidence in his background, fake connections to extremist groups. You bought his sources, made them recant. You pressured his editor, who had financial problems you discovered. You created a scandal around Reeves himself, leaked fake documents suggesting he'd fabricated previous stories. 3 months later, David Reeves was fired, blacklisted. His story never ran. Last you heard, he was working at a small-town newspaper in Montana, broken and forgotten. You felt guilty for 2 weeks. Then Congressman Will IAMS deposited $150,000 in your account, and the guilt faded. That's the thing about this job. The guilt always fades. The money doesn't. At 6:15 a.m., your phone rings again. Governor Mitchell, we need to talk. Now. An hour later, you're in his home. Not inside, that would be visible to security cameras. Instead, you're in his garden at a stone table hidden by trees. No cameras here, no microphones. Just 2 people having a conversation that doesn't exist. I have a problem, Governor Mitchell says. His hands are shaking. Robert Keene, my business partner. He's going to talk to the FBI. Your pulse quickens, but your face stays neutral. What does he know? Everything. The construction contracts, the kickbacks, The offshore accounts, 20 years of corruption. He has documents, recordings, everything. Why is he talking? His son. Federal drug charges, 25 years mandatory minimum. The FBI offered him a deal, his testimony for his son's freedom. You think quickly. This isn't a simple fix. This is catastrophic. What do you want? Mitchell looks at you with desperate eyes. Make him stop. I don't care how. You stand up. I need 1 week. For the next 6 days, you learn everything about Robert Keane. Your investigators follow him. Your hacker reads his emails, his texts, his therapy notes. You build a complete picture of his life. He's scheduled to meet the FBI next Tuesday. You have 4 days. You meet him at a coffee shop downtown. You sit down like your old friends. Robert Keane. I'm James Morrison. Word of I think I can help your son. His eyes narrow. Who are you? Someone with connections. I can make your son's charges disappear. Completely. He walks free. In exchange for what? You don't meet with the FBI. You don't testify. You forget everything you know about Governor Mitchell. He laughs bitterly. I'm not doing that. My son needs me to... You slide an envelope across the table. Inside are photographs. His daughter Emma, 19 years old, college sophomore. The photographs show her with drugs. They're fake. Your hacker created them perfectly. But Robert doesn't know that. If you meet with the FBI, these photographs get sent to the police. Your daughter gets arrested. And by the time the investigation proves they're fake, real evidence will have been planted. She'll go to prison. So will your son. You lean closer, or your son's charges disappear tomorrow. You stay quiet, and both your children stay free. Your choice. His face crumbles. You see the exact moment his soul breaks. You're a monster, he whispers. No, I'm just better at this than you are. The next day, Robert Keane's son is released. Technical error in the arrest. The FBI meeting never happens. Robert stays silent. $300,000 appears in your account. That night, you sit in your apartment, a place you barely live in, and you can't sleep. You think about Robert Keane's face, the way he looked at you like you were something inhuman. Maybe you are. You think about the person you used to be, the lawyer who wanted to do good, who believed in justice. You wonder when exactly that person died. Was it the first 50,000? The first body you disposed of? The first life you destroyed? You don't know. And that scares you more than anything. But morning comes, the phone rings. Another politician, another problem, and you answer. Because this is what you do now. You've been doing this for 7 years. You've solved 93 problems for 27 politicians. You have $3.4 million in offshore accounts. You know secrets that could topple governments, destroy careers, send dozens of people to prison. You've become the most dangerous person nobody knows exists. And you can not stop, because the people you work for, they know what you've done. They have leverage over you just like you have leverage over them. If you try to leave, if you try to go back to being normal, they'll destroy you. Or worse, they'll expose you, and everything you've done will come to light. So you keep going. Every night, the phone rings. Every night, another problem needs to disappear. You've become very good at making things disappear, including yourself. You look in the mirror sometimes and don't recognize the person staring back. That's good. Recognition is dangerous. Memory is dangerous. Conscience is dangerous. So you've learned to forget, to compartmentalize, to be nobody. The phone rings again. You pick it up. We have a problem. And you go to work, because this is who you are now. The fixer, the cleaner, the monster in the shadows who keeps the powerful powerful and the truth buried. The system made you. And now the system owns you, and it will never let you go.